Every family has a story, and acclaimed author of the bestseller When the Cypress Whispers, Yvette Manassas-Corporon, is joining us this morning to share tips on how you can discover your family's story too. Good morning, Yvette.
Carly, how are you?
I'm good. I'm excited to be talking with you this morning. I love that you are encouraging families to communicate. Certainly this is the perfect time to do it around the holidays, to talk with our family members, get off our phones, and find out everybody's unique story and history,
Absolutely,
right?
100%. You know, my book, When the Cypress Whispers, is inspired by my grandmother's story of her life and stories that I grew up learning. My grandmother told me that when she was on our little island in Greece back during World War II, she was one of a group of islanders who helped hide and save a Jewish family from the Nazis. So that story was really the inspiration for my book and the inspiration for me to dig deeper into our own family's history. So it's something that's very important to me.
Well, and I think what's interesting too is that when we are visiting with our grandparents or our parents, sometimes you would assume that they would tell you those interesting stories. But for whatever reason, they just don't come out and tell you. You do have to ask.
You do, absolutely. You do have to ask. And, you know, and it's our job as parents, I think, too. It's like, you know, we're talking about the holidays. I think this is the only time that I'll allow my children to bring the cell phones to a holiday gathering or maybe even to the table. You know, as we're gathered around the holiday table, take out those cell phones and ask your grandparents those questions that, as you said, sometimes they don't really share so easily. You know, they grew up, they had childhoods, they had their own lives, they have histories, they have stories that we really owe it to ourselves to learn, and what better way to do it than around the holidays, you know, and get the kids involved. Have them get off Instagram and Twitter just for a little bit and ask Grandma and Grandpa those questions.
Well, yeah, and I think you mentioned it too, that it's also important to physically get record of these stories, write them down. That's important. They fade.
Very true. You know, when I wrote down our story, it's really a fictionalized account of what happened on our island and to my grandmother. But the most amazing thing happened when I started paying attention to the story. You know, I was looking for the real family that my grandmother helped hide and save, and for years and years I couldn't find them, and I gave up hope. And then one morning, as I'm in my kitchen in my pajamas having coffee, I typed in one of the names to the database of MyHeritage.com. And within 5 minutes, I was staring at a family tree that had all the names on the branches, the names that I've been searching for. And within 30 minutes, I was in touch with this family that we'd been looking for. So amazing things happen when you dive into your family's history. And the family had no idea about our story, because like many Holocaust survivors, they never discussed the war. So by me paying attention to my grandmother's story, it rewrote the history of another family. So amazing things happen when you do.
Wow, you just gave me goosebumps. Well, and talk about MyHeritage.com, because anyone can go there, right?
Anyone can go there, and I was that anyone that Sunday morning. I promise you. I was like, let me just check this out, and I couldn't believe what I looked at. And that can happen to anyone. I promise you. There are stories to be uncovered. All you do is go onto MyHeritage.com and start building your family tree. You plug in your name, your parents' names, the dates they were born, location, anything you know, and you start building out your tree. And MyHeritage will instantly connect you with other family trees if they're matches. And not only that, they'll instantly pull up documents. Just this weekend, my in-laws, who are from Kansas, were over, and we sat with my children and we plugged in their side of the family tree. And all of a sudden, we looked at where they pulled up documents, 1920s census documents, and my father-in-law could not believe that he was looking at, you know, a document of himself when he was 8 years old. You know, it brought tears to his eyes and to all of ours, and it's really special. You know, we owe it to ourselves and to our children to do that. And MyHeritage also wants to help people. They're offering a 30% code. If you plug in Cypress Whispers, you'll get 30% off in discovering your family's story.
Oh, how perfect. And I love that you even talked about doing it with your parents and with your grandparents. Do it while they are still here so you can see their reaction, too. They can be a part of it.
It's priceless. It really, truly is.
Yeah, great. So we're certainly going to check out MyHeritage.com, and where can we get a copy of your book?
Great. You can check out When the Cypress Whispers at HarperCollins.com, and I hope you like it.
Yeah, well, thank you so much. Happy holidays, Yvette.
You too. Enjoy. Thank you so much.
We, of course, will put that info on our website, foxsquirrelmorningblend.com.
And get gorgeous. Up next, we are helping you ladies get primed for the latest holiday beauty must-haves. Stick around.